Hello everyone, this is Box Fashion Workshop. I remind you that we post new videos every day. Today we continue working with the summer dress for Kate. We are making it of the fabric with the cutwork embroidery. There will be two flounces in the dress, one at the bottom and one at the neckline. I've already tagged some of the details off the camera. I did it in order for the video not to be too long. If I decided to show you everything, the video would have been very long. Let's have a look at what we got here. This is the front skirt detail. I've already tagged the lining to it. These are the back skirt details. I've also tagged the lining to them. I can move these details aside. I'll be working with the bodice. Have a look at the lower flounce. It's already gathered, stitched and edged. It can be moved aside. I'm going to show you how to make the upper flounce. Don't worry, it will be made absolutely the same way as this one. We're going to show you how to gather, stitch and edge it. The techniques are absolutely the same. Let's have a look at the bodice. First, I need to trace the darts. When I do it, I'll tag them. The main fabric and the lining should be tagged together, so that we can work with them as if there's just one layer of fabric in the details. To do that, I need to tag the lining to the main fabric circle-wise. This is what I'm going to do now. I'll be working with the bodice. Be very attentive, I'm going to show you what to do. First, I need to trace the chest darts. Do not forget about the waist tucks and the back details. Let's have a look at the front detail of the bodice first. I remind you that there's just the chest dart here. I've moved the opening of the waist tuck to the opening of the chest dart. I usually use a piece of white chalk to draw on fabric, but I want you to see everything clearly, so I'm going to use a pencil in this case. Don't ever do it. What I'm doing now is not right. I do it for you not to have any questions left. I've drawn the dart, so I can detach the pattern now. I'm not going to throw it away. I like the design, and so does Kate. I'll keep the pattern in case she wants to make one more dress on the basis of this pattern. I'll just move them aside. This is the front bodice detail. This is how the neckline looks like now. I remind you that there will be the dart stitched here. Very nice. Next, I need to tack the lining to the main fabric circle-wise. I'll do it with a bright thread for you to see everything clearly. I'm taking the center front. I'm doing it for me to work with these details more conveniently. Very nice. Watch what I'm doing. I'm going to remove this seam later. I'm taking it just for me to work without any problems. I do not only show you how to work with the patterns, but I also teach you to work with different fabrics. I think that the tutorials on working with different fabrics with the cutwork embroidery are very useful. The fabrics and designs can be different, but the techniques are the same. All of these details should be tagged circle-wise. Natalie is going to help me. Natalie, tack the tags first, and then tack the details circle-wise. I remind you that the back bodice consists of the two details. We've tacked both the front and the back details circle-wise. Now we'll be able to work with them as if there's just one layer of fabric in them. I've also traced the dart to the second detail. Next, I need to tack the dart. In order to do that, I need to make the spacing seams here. I remind you that we should work with these details as if there's just one layer of fabric in them. I'm going to make the spacing seams right in the center of the darts. I'll do it by side. These seams should be made just for us to work more conveniently. I've made the spacing seams. So I can start taking the darts now. It won't be hard to do it. Fold the darts in half. And start taking them. The dart tops are marked, and there are the seams in the center of the darts. Due to this fact, it's very convenient to tack the lining and the main fabric together. Natalie is taking the waist tucks and the back details absolutely the same way. We live in the south of Russia, so it's very hot here in summer. I know that some of you live in the places where it's hot throughout the whole year. This is why I try to show you garments for different seasons, not only winter clothes. I've tacked the first chest dart. I remind you that we also moved the opening of the waist tuck to the opening of the chest dart. I'm working with the second dart now. First, I need to make a spacing seam in the center of it. Very nice. Natalie has almost finished taking the back details. Next, we're going to tack the upper details of the back to the lower one, and the upper front detail to the lower one. Be very attentive. The techniques which we are showing you are very useful. They can be used not only when working with the fabrics with the cut work embroidery, but also with lace, you can use them for working with net and any other fabrics which are doubled with lining. We've already showed you how to sew garments made of lace. In that case, we also work with the details as if there's just one layer of fabric in them. This is the front bodice detail. Let me have a look at the front skirt detail. I remind you that there will be a seam on the waistline. Notice that the details match perfectly. Always think about such things in advance. I remind you that this is the second dress we're making for Kate. I'm sure that it's not the last one. Natalie, have a look here. There is a pencil tick here. It marks the center back. There is a side seam on the other edge. Do not forget about 1 cm seam extension. Learn to work with the seam extensions accurately. This is very important. If you add 1 cm seam extension, you can't make 1.5 cm wide seams. It's not hard to work with the 2 layers of fabric tacked together. The front part of the dress is ready. The skirt is flared. There will be a flounce attached to the bottom. I can start taking the first side seam. One of the back details is ready. Natalie is going to tack the waist seam in the second detail while I'm doing it. We'll be working simultaneously in order not to waste time. The side seam should be tacked face to face. I'll make the side seams about 1.5 centimeters wide. We'll just alter them after fitting if a dress is too tight. This is how the tack details look like now. Natalie is going to tack the second side seam next. This part should be made more accurate, but we'll do it after fitting. Let's have a look at the upper flounce. When we tack the shoulders, we'll measure how wide should the flounce be. This is the only way to make the flounce accurately. Natalie is taking the shoulder seams. I'll tack the center back for a fitting. The dress will be very light and beautiful. I remind you that the main fabric is cotton and the lining cambric. It's very soft to the touch. We're going to insert a zipper in the side seam. We tacked it for a fitting. I'm going to tack the upper part of the center back seam. I need to do it in order for us to be able to work with the upper flounce accurately. Have a look at the tacked dress. There are no upper and lower flounces attached to it. Let's tack the lower flounce to the skirt. I remind you that we made these flounces off the camera. We're going to show you what to do with the second one. We are taking the lower flounce to the skirt. We are going to detach it after fitting. The last complicated detail left to be made is the upper flounce. We are going to show you how to make it in the next video. We are also going to show you how to stitch, edge and iron it. I remind you that there will also be a flounce of the lining attached under the one of the main fabric. The dress is going to be so light and beautiful. Next time we'll continue working with this dress. That's all for today. We're Paukšte Irina and Natalie. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Goodbye.